tutorial will show you how to set up the race course in your RaceQ's 3D replay. But before you can set up a course, you need to have a replay. So download the app onto your smartphone and then put the phone somewhere on your boat. It can be on deck, down below. You can put it on your wrist, or you can just stick it in your pocket. Once you start sailing, start the app and record your race. When you're finished, upload your track over Wi-Fi or cell signal. Our 3D replays are based in beautiful Google Earth, which is not yet available for phones or tablets. So, in order to watch your replay, you need to log in to raceqs.com, just like you logged into the phone app.
After you upload your track, you'll see it right here in your journal. The first thing to do is to go in and edit it, and you're going to want to make sure to give it a name. And then the next thing to do is to edit your track. Let's say at the beginning, this entire piece was just sailing out to the start of the race, which was here. So I'll just erase all that and create a new segment. And I could make this just the second half if I wanted to. And in that way, you can separate your races. So now you can see both segments here that I named. Here is sailing out to the race, and here's the actual race. I can set up different courses for each one if I wanted to. And this is also a way you can separate races. If you've been sailing all day, you don't need to stop and start the app unless you want to do it to save battery power. It's all going to show up as one thing in your replay anyways. You just segment it out like I showed you when you're naming it right at the beginning.
I make sure to switch it to bird's eye view, and then I'm going to go over here to set up the course. The first thing to do is to create a regatta and give it a name. Now, you can create multiple divisions. For this beginner tutorial, we'll just be creating one. Check the next video if you need to create more divisions. And then you can set the avatar for this division. We're going to use Bavaria 40s because that's what this race was. Now, we don't have every single boat yet, so just pick what's closest to your boat. The next thing to do is to create the start. Now, I don't know the start time for this, but if you do, that's obviously the easiest. Just hit create start and put in the time. But I'm going to show you another method, which is to sort of watch the boats going around, and you should be able to tell roughly about when they're starting. So here they are going back and forth in the starting area. We'll turn on the tracks. Select a few boats that we can see here. Here we can see it looks like they're getting ready to do something. They're all kind of sailing in the same direction, and now they're suddenly turning and taking off. So we know the start is right around here. Now, since the starts are usually at an even time, I'm going to guess that the start was at local time 4:45. So again, just by watching things, you can kind of figure it out. This is a one design race. There's some other choices as well, handicap and pursuit. So I'll go ahead and save that. Now that I have the start time, I need to create the physical starting line. That's how the divisions are defined. All the boats that cross the starting line before the next start are in your division. Or for a pursuit race within 2 hours of the start, or if you only have one start, you get a 10-minute window. In this race, I know that we start and finish across the same line, so I'm going to use a start-finish line. However, you can choose separate ones as well. As it says, I'm going to drag and drop or click to edit. So remember, I told you the divisions are defined by who crosses the starting line, so it's really important that everybody makes it across your physical starting line. So let's double check that everybody actually crosses it. Libra is kind of on the edge there, and a common mistake is to maybe have the starting line like this, and then if Libra doesn't cross it, they're not going to be included in your divisions or the results. So make sure that all the boats in your division are crossing the physical starting line that you set up. Now we need to set up some marks. If you actually sailed in the race, you'd probably know where the mark is, but if you didn't, don't worry, it's pretty easy to figure out. Let's just watch these guys. And now it looks like right there, they're going around something. And you can see some of them. Now we just see 2 boats go by that are not in the division, but are still recording. We're all going up, and look at that. Now we're all going to go around something and come back the other way. Slow it down a bit. Go back a little. Here you can see them all coming together. The whole fleet. And it looks like the mark is right there. I think it's pretty clear that the boats are all going around roughly the same spot in the water. Now if we wanted to double check, we could change to a different boat's track. But I think we can agree it's pretty clear the mark is right in there somewhere. So we'll just create mark. We'll use a single mark in this instant. And again, we'll just drag it over here. And there we go. Now, the marks are automatically added to the race course, but you do need, so far, we have the start-finish line and the mark. Let's see what they do next. Switch back to bird's eye view. Off they go. Now these guys are in another fleet. They're just going completely the other way. So here they are, all coming down. Let's see what they do next. Ooh, they're coming close together there. And now some of them are going to turn around. They're definitely going around something, but it doesn't look like a mark, because if we turn on Libra's track here, so we can see Libra went around it this way, Nike went around it this way. So we are pretty sure that it's a gate. And I could play it some more, but just trust me, it's quite clear. Now we just drag the gate where we want it to be. One side right here. One side right here. So we can rewind to just before the gate and see if they all go through it. Here they come. Round they go. Looks like they're all making it. We've got it in pretty much the right place. And one more. Okay. Well, now let's see where they go. Back out to bird's eye view. And they're off. Back down the race course, heading back upwind. And it looks to me like they're headed for this mark again. So let's zoom in here and see if that's what they're going to do. And it looks like, yep, they are heading back around that mark. Look at them all go. Okay, so what we need to do is, so far we have start finish line, mark 1, gate 1, and they went around mark 1 again. So let's add that. Okay, now let's see where they're off to. And it looks like they are coming across the finish line. Let's see if they all do that. And here they come. I'll turn off the track for you. Here they all come back through the start finish line. So what we need to do is add the start finish line at the end. And that, my friends, is our race course right there. So now if we go back to the beginning, we will get this green pacer line. Back up a bit more. And that pacer line shows the correct speed you need to approach the start on time. So it's going to shrink as you get closer and closer, 1 minute. And by looking at it, you can see who is going to be late for the start and who would be over early. And that is all you need to do to set up your race. If you want to, you can lock the editing after you set it up so that no one can go in and move the marks around. Otherwise, remember, this is a crowdsourcing setup. So any one of these boats would be able to go in, or actually anyone that can access the replay can go in and move the marks around. I hope this gives you all that you need to know to start setting up your regattas.
For some more advanced features like how to set up multiple divisions and how to segment your race in different ways, stay tuned for our next videos.